Greetings. This is Paul the Poke from paulthepoke.com, and welcome to This Week in Prophecy. Most of the events probably should be called This Weekend in Prophecy. We're going to take a look at the goings on in Iran. Took place, I guess it would be like early Sunday morning, their time, what would be Saturday evening here in the United States. And for those of you who are new, it's becoming my understanding, we got some more people coming along every time. We're taking a look at this because of the prophecy in Ezekiel 38 and 39, Cliff Notes version. Russia, along with some allies, modern-day Turkey, modern-day Iran, will invade Israel from the north at some point in the future. We don't know when that's going to be specifically, but the dominoes keep getting set up, pieces keep getting putting into place, and we're going to look specifically at what's going on in Iran and ultimately how it's going to affect the relationship between Iran, Russia, and Turkey. So we got a map here of Iran. We're going to look at the different places that were discussed in the news. Big thank you. Unable to reach out to Checkmate this evening for this. He did give me some different ideas and some links to some of these articles. First of all, though, we're going to take a look, and we're just going to look at just the big picture, what happened over the weekend, what areas were targeted, and explosions, fires at Iran military sites and factories. And this is from Jason Brodsky. He is the policy director at United Against Nuclear Iran. Watcher and Wonk, Middle East analyst, focuses on leadership dynamics in Iran and the Iranian Republican Guard Corps. That's a military branch of the Iranian government. It's also been declared recently a terrorist group by the European Union. So first of all, we're going to take a look. A drone factory was hit in Isfahan. And Isfahan is right here in central Iran, south of Tehran. That's where this drone factory was located. So these are the drones that are being manufactured in Iran and shipped to Russia. Russia is using these drones in Ukraine. So there's your connection right there. Also, it is believed that there's some missile technologies that are located in Isfahan as well. So that was part of the area that was hit. Also, Azar Shahar in eastern Azerbaijan province. Let's see if we can get that up, where that's located. And we're going to have some things to say about this area. Also, Lake Urmia, for those of you who have been following along, that turned blood red a couple years ago during the summer from lack of water. That was kind of fascinating. So you can see this is located in the northwestern part of Iran, Black Sea, Caspian Sea. And specifically Tabriz is also going to be an area that got hit. We're going to scroll down. Hamadan is another area that was hit. Hamadan is interesting because there is an airbase, an Iranian airbase in Hamadan, and that is also a base that they have allowed the Russians to share with, have been able to fly planes in and out of Hamadan, Iran. So some of this is getting a little close as far as what's happening with the Russians are concerned. Karaj is another area where there is some activity. And I believe this is located just due west of Tehran. And then the last place that was located was Desful. That was the first place I had located on this map. And that's over here further west. western Iran, southwestern Iran. So I'll back this up again, give people a feel on the western Iraqi border. Now, one area that was not mentioned, which I will pull up here, and that would be Bashir. There are nuclear facilities located in Bashir, Iran. Haven't heard anything about Bashir as of yet. I know Israel's been very adamant they are going to make sure that they do not become, Russia or Iran does not become a nuclear power. And they say they're going to take out their international or take out their nuclear capabilities. So here is this is from Iran International English version, and this was near Tabriz. Air defenses of Iran's traditional army and the IRGC have been put on high alert amid a horrible fire in a factory near Tabriz. So this was the case pretty much, and it appears to be pretty coordinated, very coordinated. All these things took place at roughly the same time. Of course, the Middle East responses blame Israel. There was a report out of the Wall Street Journal saying that Israel did it. Saudi reports saying the United States did it, apart from Israel. I mean, there are all kinds of things being done. It is interesting that the United States and Israel were wargaming and doing some military efforts in the southern part of Israel earlier in the week as well. And so also reports that the IRGC, some of their camps were hit. Some of the guards were taken out. Some of the high-ranking officials of Iranian military were taken out. Not getting a whole lot of information coming out of Iran. Here is something that is reported from IranInternational.com English version. Iran says small drones. These were some small drones that attacked its military sites. Unsuccessful, according to Iranian government. Several Isfahan citizens told Iran International they've heard at least 3 or 4 explosions. Meanwhile, Telegram channels affiliated with the IRGC are sharing this video the moment a drone hit the Iranian Defense Ministry's ammunition facility in Isfahan. Wasn't much that happened there. Just small drones. Unsuccessful attack, according to IranInternational.com. If you do want to read this, it does go on to talk about some things that took place. State official told state television damages are being investigated, as well as the causes and elements that caused this explosion will be announced later. Okay, Tabriz affected, again, Tehran. Desful down just north of the Persian Gulf as well. And Hamadan's Noza airbase. Again, that's a place where the Iranians are allowing Russians to fly in and out of. So whoever did it, allegedly, lots of speculation. Kind of consensus is Israel probably had a finger in it. We don't know for sure. This is from Barak Ravid. He is a correspondent at Walla News, diplomatic correspondent, Axios Middle East correspondent, author of Trump's Peace. The new strike on Iran's MOD facility in Isfahan was specific, surgical, and successful. Sources with direct knowledge told me. They added the facility was connected to Iran's missile program. 4 different areas in the building were accurately targeted, and the goal was achieved. So take that for what it's worth. And then this happened. Actually, this little story has about 2 or 3 legs to it. Israeli aircraft have attacked a convoy of 25 trucks that crossed the border from Iraq to Syria through a crossing controlled by Hezbollah, according to Saudi media reports. Now, I've seen this has occurred up to approximately 3 different times. And the thing I hear is with I've even seen some stuff about trucks, refrigerated trucks. Apparently, that's how they ship these types of technologies from Iran over to Syria and eventually into Lebanon. So if you can look here, this would be the Iraqi-Syrian border. I mean, so there are only one there. There's a place right here, and well, that's really not a place there. So I would guess it would be somewhere in this area. Um, um, in what would be northeast Syria, northwest Iraq is where this likely took place. And apparently, there have been about 3 different convoys taken out over the last 2 to 3 days. So, why do I bring this up? So, Turkey has become a drone superpower. Russia is losing drones from Iran because this drone factory was taken out. Now, granted, they say they've got a bunch of drones stored underground. They got some facilities underground in Iran. But nonetheless, Russia has an option to get drones from 2 places, from Turkey and from Iran. And just as the prophecy suggests in Ezekiel 38, Gog of Magog, the leader of Russia, what is modern day Russia? Gog is a leader of Magog, Magogians, also called the Scythians by the Greeks. That would be modern day Russia. And so Russia's, currently receiving drone shipments. These things are flown in frequently. You see all kinds of air data, logs being people following airplanes from Iran to Moscow and different places in Russia where they suspect these drones are coming in. And then Turkey's also become a drone superpower. So Russia has a couple of options for drone purchases, and coincidentally lines up with the prophecy in Ezekiel 38. So modern day Turkey, also known as Meshach, Tubal, Gomer, Beth Togarmah, Ezekiel 38:5, ancient Persia or modern day Iran. So meanwhile, while all that's going on, very significant earthquake, estimates anywhere 5.7 to 5.9, happened later that day. I think started out, what was it, on the 28th? So it'd have been Saturday night, in Koi, Iran, is where this earthquake took place. My bad. Um, and so you get the flavor of that, where that took place. Again, Tabriz is here. Hamadan is down here. And you have Iran, and you have Turkey, who will be allied with Russia in a pending invasion of Israel at some point from the north. And here's the report. This is from English, alarabia.net. An earthquake with a magnitude of 5.9 struck northwest Iran near the border with Turkey on Saturday. Numbers have gone up since this publication, killing at least 3 people, injuring more than 300. And, again, Iran and Russia continue to strengthen ties. This came out this morning, January 30th. Iran and Russia have connected their interbank communication and transfer systems to help boost trade and financial transactions. A senior Iranian official said on Monday, as both Tehran and Moscow are chafing under Western sanctions. So Iran's been disconnected from the SWIFT financial messaging service, which is a key international banking access point, which is pretty much used throughout the West and most of the world. So they've kind of developed their own. Iranian banks no longer need to use SWIFT with Russian banks, which can be the opening of letters of credit, transfers, or warranties. I believe the Russian system is called the Mir system. And so you've got all these countries that are being sanctioned by the West, and they're starting to develop their own lines of communication, wire transfers for financial transactions, and so forth. Some people think the BRICS, so that'd be Brazil, Russia, India getting involved, China, and South Africa. Also, that S may stand for Saudi Arabia. They're starting to want to do transactions, oil transactions in yuan with the Chinese. And the thinking is that the BRICS and their basket of currencies will be commodity based and commodity backed. So, with all the oil and gas with Russia, the Saudis, and then also these central banks are just gobbling up. All these central banks of these countries are gobbling up physical gold and physical silver at record paces to back these transactions. So, the plot continues to thicken with the ties economically, militarily, politically with Russia, Turkey, Iran, and others, as Ezekiel 38. Right from the beginning, it tells who these. It gives the ancient names, and it's Ezekiel 38 verses 1-6. And when you drop these ancient names, drop a modern day map over where these peoples settled after they were scattered, came out of the ark, went down to Babylon, scattered by God, and where they settled. These are your modern day countries of Russia, Iran, Turkey, and then the Southern Coalition, which we're not going to talk about today, Libya, ancient Put, and then Ethiopia. That area would be Sudan, Ethiopia in modern day terms. So we pay attention to things that are going on, and these sanctions are crippling these countries, especially Iran. Inflation soared over 50%. Youth unemployment more than 50%. Iranians being shoved below the poverty line. Links will be provided for all of these articles that are being referenced, which takes us back to, we're going to take a look at things apart from Russia and Iran and Turkey, and just look what Russia's doing on their own. This happened about a week ago. Putin's Navy frigate, armed with hypersonic missiles, sailed toward the United States in the Atlantic in a show of strength after passing Britain, Russian telegram channel claims. And so they are carrying their hypersonic, unstoppable Mach 9 nuclear-capable hypersonic cruise missiles. It's a mouthful. Deviated from its course and is sailing towards the United States coast. The Admiral Gorshkov, armed with Zircon missiles, which Putin boasts has no equivalent in the world, is being closely monitored by NATO navies during its maiden voyage. And so here is a map. And this ship was scheduled to go south past South Africa to the Indian Ocean, then enter the Mediterranean Sea through the Suez Canal. So it was going to make a trip around the continent of Africa. Well, took a little diversion to the west. Apparently, they did some simulated computer-fired testing and determined, yes, they could reach the United States from there. Well, staying out in international waters. Yep, they can do it. Test launch for Zircon, that's in the Barents Sea. That's way up north. Well, here's some radar. Monitoring sites claim it took a sudden diversion headed towards Bermuda. That'd be Bermuda right there. I think that's right. Might be wrong. That's up way up north where it's cold. But here's just a little bit of a, capabilities. Now, some of this stuff, though, they go over the North Pole with their launches, would be the closest route from Russia to the United States. So, causing a little anxiousness out there in the Atlantic. Pay attention to what they're doing. Of course, our press sleep at the wheel. They're not talking about any of this. And then also, Russia did this week. Russia and Syria restore Jarrah airbase for joint use. Small based east of Aleppo was recaptured from ISIS fighters in 2017. And we will take a look where that is. That's near I always mess that up. Manbij or Manjib. Whoops. There we go. Took me some time. And this is located east of Aleppo, near Lake Assad. That'd be the Euphrates River dammed up. So again, another example of Russia working their way into the region. And again, where the United States is stepping out, Russia is stepping in. So Russia and Syria working jointly together in Syria. And in the backdrop of all of this, we have the Secretary of State, U.S. Secretary of State Blinken, has entered into Israel for a trip. We have the Palestinians and the Israelis. We have some terrorist attacks. Israelis have been killed. Israel has responded. Palestinians killed. And tensions are heightened. Had some people shot. I believe it was the city of David, old city of David in Jerusalem, south of the Temple Mount. So a lot of things going on. Just thought I'd provide a little operational update of what's been going on over the weekend. Appreciate you guys taking the time to follow up. Please feel free to share with others at paulthepoke.com. As things happen and develop, we'll keep you posted. Thanks for taking the time. Have a good one. Bye.